Alright, we're back. Getting into game, but one sec. Alright, game number 1 and a fresh best of 3 for the DreamHack Austin qualifiers for Europe. Of course, this is really exciting for us because we'll get to meet and hang out, hopefully, and see one of these players who do get through today. But in the bottom left side of Invader, it's going to be the blue Terran player, Liquid Bunny.
In the top left, as the red Terran, it is uThermal.
And it looks like Flotch has pledged his zesty donation of $5 towards Save It. So
Zesty.
I am astonished that this is winning so hard with how vocal chat has been about wanting Shave It to win. But money speaks, and it's 115 to 65 currently.
Well, I mean, I guess, you know, people want us to shave it, so.
I just feel like you guys are going to betray me, and you're going to make me
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'll do something for, like, the wedding and the week up to it, but I'm not walking into DreamHack Austin with a Hitler stash, for example,
Hey.
okay? Like, it's not going to happen.
Okay, alright. I mean, that's fair, I suppose. I mean, we're going to be going out a lot anyway, so there's going to be plenty of opportunity for the public in general to see you before we go to DreamHack.
Oh, so I had a really cool idea. You know this Theta camera I have for the 360 view stuff?
Sure.
I just realized, like, that's actually gonna be pretty fun for, like, card games and stuff, too. We just, like, stick that in the middle of the table.
So, yes, you're right. Like board games and like that.
Like Exploding Cats, for example.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to remember to bring that. That's something that's not on my list yet. But I was also, like, someone was like, when's the next drunk cast, right? And I was like, I don't know, like, maybe tipsy at best, right? But then I was like, you know what? If we can make a donation goal, maybe we'll do a 360 stream of all 4 of us getting tipsy at DreamHack. That'd be worthwhile, right?
I gotta pick a bone with this because we've been friends for a while. You keep doing this, but like you keep saying tipsy instead of like drinking or getting drunk or something. And like I just feel like tipsy is like Babby's way of saying get drunk. Like you don't want to like fully commit, so you're like, you know what? I didn't say I was gonna get drunk. I just said I was gonna get tipsy, so I wasn't lying. Like
well,
it feels like the non-committal.
Well, to me, tipsy was always like, you know, I'm not drunk, I'm just tipsy. Like I have like a very slight like, you know, error in my walk, but I'm not like, hey guys,
I got a buzz.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or a buzz, I guess is another word. So that's why, yeah, like everyone wants us to do a drunk stream, which in my mind is they're thinking like drink a whole bottle of vodka again, and I'm not gonna do that.
See, I don't know that I've ever
4 shots.
I don't know that I've ever talked to a friend and said, "Hey man, you want to go get tipsy tonight?" Like,
oh, of course no one says that. But you know, some people might say like, "Hey, you want to get a little buzz? Like, I don't want to drink that much." Sure. Although I might have said that once or twice to my friends. I feel like it's more acceptable for a girl to say it.
We have a pretty dedicated attack coming Bunny's way, but Bunny's actually got 2 very important units for the defense on the way, and that's a combination of a Cyclone and a Viking. Now, the Hellions are a huge threat for uThermal, or from uThermal, excuse me, but the Cyclone can pick off the Medevac, and the Viking combines with it. Everything else on the ground becomes easy peasy. As we see the lock-on goes down, he does have to kind of boost away. Gets a little bit awkward. That's already at half health, so the Viking should have no problem finishing that off. And while Bunny does have to withdraw temporarily back to his main, this is not the worst offset of things to happen. The Marines are getting fried alive, though. That's not a good way to use your Marines against Hellions. Don't line them up like that. And all of a sudden, Bunny goes from having an optimal army to fight against us to just losing too much on the ground.
That was almost like a perfect defense from Bunny. I guess still not landing the command center is like a little bit better for uThermal, and if you get this tank, I mean that would be fantastic, but that shouldn't happen. In fact, if he had vision, there we go. This tank would have been able to splash the rings for a bit. Loses the Viking, and uThermal got, I guess, the most he could from a frontal attack. You know, that wasn't like hitting it too greedy of a player. And with the army supply lead, I actually put uThermal like really not a bad spot. He had to do something with the later command center, and I think he did. Yeah,
TvT openings can be really delicate in instances similar to this, and it's unfortunate for Bunny is one of those moments where you don't really have a lot of anti-air. The Cyclone would help out a little bit, but the second the Banshee gets out of cloak range, just comes back in and goes for the SCVs instead of the tanks. But like when you play the style Bunny is, each unit you lose hurts significantly more. When you play the style uThermal is, you've got a lot of Marines, you've got extra Hellions in this mix. Like you've actually got units you can afford to lose, expendable units, if you will.
Incoming transmission.
Right now though, Bunny, he's getting to that point. Hopefully these two tanks can hold. They are going to be powerful, but this is still, I don't know, uncomfortable to say the least.
Well, uThermal's continued harassment is still doing work. The third Banshee might be, a bit of an excess here. Did he cancel it? I think he might have just barely gotten the cancel in before it finished. Yep.
Okay, so swap's over.
Yeah, so I do like that. It's like the second Banshee was not doing well either, and what's really important and what might have really cinched the cancel was the missile turret protecting the tanks.
Yeah.
If it doesn't protect the tanks, then the second Banshee can actually really quickly tear down at least one tank, maybe two, and that suddenly allows a push to actually work.
Well, the missile turret wasn't even directly going to cover both the tanks either, but the detection was, and that was just the best part about this. We got a $5 donation coming in from 696969 Flotchster 696969. Says, I'm going to try and do some PG ones this time around. Don't got $80 to get my full fanfiction 2.0 out. So here's the nothing. Oh, here goes nothing. What's the difference between the Lannisters and Zest? Zest doesn't need gold to win. Clever. I like that. Isn't Game of Thrones out this weekend or next weekend or something like that too?
I don't know.
It's soon, so congratulations on the topical joke to boot.
Oh, okay. I'm probably not gonna watch it.
You and Nathaniel should form a club of people who just are super lame.
Why? Game of Thrones isn't as good as it used to be. Like last season, I was like, okay, I'm still kind of interested, but it's always like the end of it. I was like, okay, whatever. It's changed too much from the books.
Man, but it's like. See, that's the thing, I guess, because I never read the books. I don't really give a fuck that it's deviating or anything like that. I'm just like, oh, there's dragons, and now there's, like, undead people, and, like, this is getting awesome now.
Yeah, even if it didn't deviate from the books, I don't know if I would like it as much. I'm not... I guess I just have to spoil things to say why I don't like it, but I could certainly see what people still do, and there's, like, still definitely interesting parts. Like, I really want to see what they do with Daenerys still, but I'll just read about it.
Burns the scan, not going to be worth it, as the Banshee does kill the Cyclone. Very weak unit overall, but Bunny got as much use out of that thing as he needed to, and that kept him alive in the early game. Now he's throwing down his own rocks, and I gotta say he's like the first player I think we've ever seen actually do this. Not a bad move, because like, you can certainly see how like if you get choked in on the left side, you want to create a flank or something. That's a pathway to possibly do it, but it's also an opening for your opponent to take advantage of, so it is questionable.
Yeah, it is the first time I've seen those rocks broken down in general, actually. So maybe a Zerg player will start to chip at the rocks, but then the Terran of the Protoss will catch them when they act. So to see them broken down by the player using them is odd, but it's also just the slightest bit quicker access to your third base to like emergency defend, maybe. But I guess it's interesting. uThermal has been very consistently pressuring. This is like, I mean, this guy's really good at micro. I always talk about that, but his macro has never been bad. It was always his decision making that could be a little bit questionable. But I think in TvT it really does work out well to be the aggressor. But he's actually getting attacked as he pushes, so what was supposed to be a great push did cost him at least 5 SCVs. Medivac does survive, so nicely done by Bunny.
Yeah, so but like I said, sending the $5 donation onto the save it goal because he wanted it back there. But excuse me, in so many ways, being the aggressor definitely benefits you, especially with Medivacs being Medivacs and tanks interacting the way they do. But that +1 is off for uThermal, even though he's got a bigger army supply. +1 makes a huge world of difference when it comes to Marines fighting, especially with how many shots they fire per second. So waiting for that to finish up is probably a little bit better. He'll have that in just a second's time. Both players are relentlessly scanning all over the place because nobody wants to get caught out of position. And the tanks in the sky, I mean, they're pretty damn similar.
Yeah, this is a pretty even game. uThermal has that almost 20 supply lead, which is, I guess, like a little impressive, but that's like tank positioning, you know, or an upgrade, so
yeah.
No one's in that lead yet. But uThermal is ready to defend. He has a concave already set up, and I don't think Bunny's going to be getting any further than this.
These two Vikings are actually such a small detail to have, but they are kind of an important one. As it's not about shooting the Medivacs in the middle of the fight, but it's zoning back uThermal from being able to just place his Medivacs wherever he'd like. thus his tanks. But
Mm.
I'm kind of curious to see if at some point, like its Marine tank is the standard. I do really think 1 or 2 Liberators mixed into this sort of situation could be huge. You either force your opponent to stim forward and pick off your Liberator, putting them in range of your tanks, or you can use it to anti-pressure those tanks. Counter-pressure the tanks, if you will. Probably a better way to phrase that. But Vikings, as we see, doing a great job. Almost picks off one of the medevacs. It's going to maybe force a fight. uThermal stuck in a bit of an odd spot. He is on high ground, but he's choked away. Looks like this might just turn into a bit of a base trade at this rate as he pulls all the SCVs back towards the main.
I can't believe the Vikings really bullied him so much, you know? Like, to not only give ground, but be forced into a base trade is quite surprising, but it's a base trade that is still viable for both players. I mean, no one had a lot of pre-knowledge that this was going to happen, so no one has tanks set up. And the buildings or the bases are so small, I don't think it's going to help or hinder killing the buildings. Like, there's so little room to cover.
He's going to fly around, but this is, again, if those Vikings don't go down, could be a huge difference of the game being a stalemate versus a loss, but Vikings getting picked off pretty quick. Tanks on that high ground. There's a big choke in that barracks. Oh no. So it looks like Bunny's defenses are going to get cracked, and both players end up with almost equal army supply coming out of this. But uThermal's got significantly more Marines.
Yeah, he's only down 1 tank. In fact, the army supply being even is actually a lot in those medevacs.
Bunny loses. Bunny loses.
I think he does.
Wait, did he get an SCV out? He did. He's got 1 SCV. He could build a command center.
He already has command.
He's almost out of buildings though. Like I can't say because it doesn't happen often, but he's almost at a building loss in this base trade. He's really got to get something done soon. He doesn't have a lot of money to work with. uThermal's last building that he has to kill is right here, and Bunny doesn't plant anything down in time. Ooh, he queued something up too at the last second. That's the worst part. So uThermal, he'll take that base trade, and he'll take the first game in this series. Flotch hits us up with another donation, though, and it says, what's the difference between Stannis and Zest? Zest doesn't need to burn children to beat white people. Okay, that's where I think I'm going to start calming down. That's where you cut off. Like, you know when there's a drunk guy, it's like, you're cut off, man? Like.
Also, spoiler, that's what's different in the books.
Oh, see, I don't know about that. Anyways, I'm just gonna assume unless he says otherwise, it's going towards save it again. So it's 125 now for save it. We're gonna pop off to a small break. We'll get this lobby up. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in just a sec. And thank you, Psychro, for the 2-month resub. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DreamHack Austin EU qualifiers. We are in game number 2 of this best of 3, and if you missed it, there was a bit of a base trade. I'll talk more about that in a moment. In the top right side of Dusk Towers, we've got the Red Terran. It is none other than Team Liquid's Bunny.
Oh, they changed colors. In the bottom left, as the Blue Terran, it is uThermal.
I'm going to get a little bit cheesy and a little bit proxy on this. Now, during the lobby, actually, Bunny kind of talking about how, yeah, I had an SCV and money, and I got greedy. I wanted to build the command center at the minerals. It's unfortunate because it did cost him the game. It could have still been the same results. I don't know, but you know, he knows exactly the mistakes that were made. They're both just kind of laughing at each other about it.
Yeah, Bunny says he was getting too greedy to go for the minerals, and that is true. He should have just built something. And even just, like, you know, he could have built something and then taken the SCV off of it.
Yeah, like, just get a depot started. He had, like, 600 minerals. That was the thing. Like, he could have started something and still built the command center. But CGTF2 just hit us up for 28 months in a row on that resub.
Very nice. So important. Bunny does scout this. Yeah. So he might not actually scout the location, but he got in there. So, you don't get the SCV pushed back, so he knows that it's a 3 racks.
It's still gonna be tough though. He will initially have high ground vision on his side. That might help him fight the first 1 to 3 Reapers with his own 1 or 2 Reapers. But the problem is still gonna remain that his production is gonna be later. So technically, every step of the way, uThermal should have better and more units.
Yeah, this is the thing that I would have trouble with. Even if I did scout it, I'm not sure how to defend against this. So, of course, not letting your SCVs all get grenaded is the first step. So like an appropriate amount of SCVs brought forward. If the bunker got up, I mean, that would be a little bit helpful, but I don't think it's ever going to get up.
So it's funny, because you and I were talking about this recently, actually, when you mentioned you had trouble with this, and I kind of said I never do. And I think I actually lost my first Proxy Reaper just the other night on stream. And the funny thing is, I always play really not like... I guess you could call it greedy in some regards, but all any. Like, I'll go gas first, like, every single time. I'll go for like that fast as fuck factory. So like
helps.
I never really have problems with this, but when you play the way Bunny did, unfortunately, as we see, it is a bit of the struggles. His control's not too bad though. He's only playing a couple SCVs. He's trying to just soak a little bit of damage while his Reapers start popping out. But unfortunately, as noted, he is gonna have less Reapers than his opponent just due to production cycles.
Yeah. I mean, he got, like, his SCV scout was, like, appropriately timed. Like, if it was maybe 5 seconds sooner, he'd be in an even better position. But that's gonna be GG. It is that proxy 3 racks, you know? Like, a proxy 1 rack's, like, no big deal. Even 2 racks is kind of like, okay, I can deal with this. But that 3 racks is just, like, the king of cheese, okay? And,
It
like,
is, and
the worst.
unless you are building into somebody who has, like, this perfect build set up, it really is hard to react to that. Like, Bunny losing is certainly a little bit surprising, but at the same time, uThermal, you put him in any situation where micro is going to be key, uThermal's going to do well. So he advances in the brackets to go fight against Hearthstone next, and we're definitely going to keep following this series out. So that'll be the next best of 3 TvP.
I'm so happy with the lack of CBZ.
I know. I'm just saying, by the way, if there's ZVZ anywhere, I'm not touching it. Like, if the finals is ZVZ, we're going to the losers bracket. I'm just saying. Like, of course, there is a losers bracket worth remembering. So Buddy might find himself fighting out. Sometimes players will just straight up forfeit the losers. But I'm wondering, are there 2 European qualifiers, or is it just the 1?
I was looking, you know, because I know on our schedule it's something
that.
different. It's just the 1, as far as I could find.
Interesting. Well, for those who don't know, these are like the passport qualifiers or whatever they're called. Like, you don't. This isn't the only way in. Like, these are, so you can actually still fly to DreamHack and play and all that goodness. We got a donation coming in though from Phoenix636. He says, "Beard it better than shave it, or better than save it." He wants $5 going in there. Oh, so I see like grow out a beard to match
Quickly.
the mustache. All right, one
Grow
sec.
a beard. You have 2 weeks.
All right, so that's 130 on save it. I'm not liking this. This is really, this is eclipsing shave it now. It's almost double.
So, can you, like, you know, I mean, so like let's say this gets full up
double.
on shave it. Oh God, it is double. Can me and Olivia have like a donation pool of our own to see what we do with your mustache?
That's on you, man. I'm not endorsing that on Base Trade, so that's like that's all on you, man.
I think you can make it work.
I gotta message uThermal, I guess. Sorry to stalk you so much, but we're going to follow again. Not often you are in the sort of a Terran god. Alright, so Hearthstone versus uThermal. Going to cast U versus uThermal next. Let us know maps so we can host pretty please.